seems when we look at these cases in general that the people are looking for notoriety. They want to be seen, they want to be heard, and we have this society now where everybody projects everything they think on Twitter and Facebook.
With Miranda Kahn, J.D. Hayworth welcoming you back to Newsmax Prime. That was forensic psychiatrist Dr. Timothy Allen speaking to ABC affiliate WTVQ about the notoriety people seek through social media.
Yeah, like you, many of us, present company included, just remain in shock following yesterday's deadly shooting of those two young TV journalists that had happened live on television. And we now know a disgruntled former employee, Vester Lee Flanagan, is the man responsible for this horrific tragedy. Flanagan not only took to social media to post his own video of the double murder, he also sent out a live tweet of this incident, JD.
And all accounts under Vester Flanagan's on-air name, Bryce Williams, were taken down along with a horrific video. But it was too late. It had already been shared and embedded online. For more, we're pleased to be joined here at the anchor desk by political consultant and social engagement and digital media advisor, Craig Agranoff. Craig, we appreciate the time here on Newsmax Prime. It's a long title, but very descriptive. But it boils down to explaining the impact of social media. What we saw yesterday was as ghastly as it was surprising to a guy like me with the live tweeting.
Right.
Yeah, I was taken back myself too. To think that it's almost like you're watching a video game if you watch the video. I don't recommend watching the video to many people, but if you did, it's almost like watching when my son would play his video games on the Xbox, to see a first-person shooter just walk up and pull the trigger, and yet takes to social media to get the biggest and broadest impact of what he was saying. It's deplorable.
You know, and as we mentioned, Flanagan actually took video from his perspective and put it on social media. And not only that, people shared that video. They shared his tweets. Why would someone want to share this image, these videos?
We've become this voyeuristic society, and if you took the same type of thing and said, okay, well, here I am eating pizza, it's not going to spread that quickly. But all of a sudden you tell somebody, here is somebody murdering someone else, and we're all standing around to watch it. It's like when you drive by an accident and you see all the rubberneckers. That's what people care about, and it's a scary way to realize what society actually deems important.
Craig, the father of one of the shooting victims, Allison Parker, spoke to reporters about gun violence in the wake of his daughter's murder. Let's listen to what he had to say and then get your reaction to it.
The politicians have got to stand up to the NRA and close some of these loopholes so that crazy people don't get guns.
So the father is obviously distraught. He talked to Terry McAuliffe, the governor of Virginia, on the telephone, and uses in his grief a political palette to take action. Is it likely that social media will be used in this campaign to try and build support now for what the dad pointed out?
Well, we've already seen that unfortunately, with all the other shootings that have taken place and all the other problems that, the guns have brought. But at some point, it's also the person, and it's not just the guns. Sure, the gun was in his hand, but I don't know how you can turn such a tragedy into some type of political agenda, which we're seeing all the pundits around the nation doing. Let's mourn their deaths, and let's not jump to a conclusion of if there were no guns, these people would still be alive, because we don't know. He could have taken a knife, and he could have killed them live on TV with a knife. If he had his agenda to kill them, whether or not it was a gun or with a machete, he was going to kill them. So I think that the family should worry about mourning a little bit more and less about pushing some type of political agenda.
But doctor, do you think that we're doing enough to address mental illness in this country?
I don't. And I think you can see, based upon the murder rate in this country compared to many other countries that handle it differently, that perhaps it's time that we should readdress a lot of issues, not just guns.
And Craig, it comes down to a situation now. You talked about us becoming basically a society of internet voyeurs in terms of social interaction. So in a way, is social media making us antisocial. Got about 45 seconds.
Well, the reality is yes. The same reason kids don't run out and get cars anymore is because they can just sit in front of their computer. They know where their friends are all day long. We are becoming more reclusive as we're becoming more social at the same time, because now you can just sit back and share these things, hide behind a computer. The big thing that concerns me is kind of what inspired this guy to do this, but yet what will he inspire to happen next? Who's going to try to jump him and try to become the next sensational event on social media?
He said he was inspired by other shootings. Right, and all the attention that they received.
So I think we're becoming a little bit more reclusive, and that worries me because that also brings out a little bit more loony.
Well, and speaking of that, ironically, based on your comments, we do have an appeal to make via social media. The good, the bad, and the passionate. We'd like to get your comments on the shooting, on the rise of social media and antisocial behavior. Go to newsmaxtv.com/comments.